Hello, American Literature 2. I hope you had a great weekend. And I hope you enjoyed Ernest Hemingway. We are moving on into week 11 to F. Scott Fitzgerald, Francis Scott Key Fitzgerald. That's literally his name. And he is widely known for his most famous work, The Great Gatsby. Very prolific writer, very influential writer in American literature. This week, all I want you to do is I'd like you to read one of his short stories. We're not going to read one of his novels. We're going to read Babylon Revisited, and that is in your textbook. Make sure to watch the short mini bio on F. Scott Fitzgerald, and also make sure to read in your textbook the biography on F. Scott Fitzgerald. This week, I only ask that you summarize Babylon Revisited. You don't have to write an explication. You don't have to tell me what you think it means. If you'd like to, hey, that's awesome. I'd love to know what you think it means. But all I really want you to do is write just a basic summary of all the events in Babylon Revisited. And when you've done that, go ahead to the discussion boards, go to the week 11 discussion board, and make your comment. Okay, so make a comment about this piece of literature. You can also, I know a lot of people probably have seen the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, The Great Gatsby, and maybe you've read the book. Maybe you have some insights that you'd like to cross-reference these two stories and talk about similarities, differences that you notice. And I'd love to read what you have to say. Make sure that you have made at least your one initial post and then one comment on somebody else's post, so that you can receive full credit. One last comment about today. Today is Monday, and I will not be in my office today. I am traveling. I mentioned that last week, but I just wanted to reiterate that today. If you have any needs if you need me, or if you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask me, please feel free to email me, and I will email you as soon as possible. And we can make an appointment to set up an office visit via my virtual office. So that's normally I have an office hour today, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., and I'm just not going to be able to do that because I'm traveling. So other than that, I should be able to respond to you, help you with anything you need. And last but not least, I am going to just tease you with this because we are going to get serious about this. You will be having to write a long literary essay for this course, and that will constitute 20% of your grade. So it's very serious. And I'm just floating this by you today. And then next week, we're going to go into depth as far as what this will be. But essentially, it is this. I'm going to ask you to choose a author that we have read this semester or that we're about to read. So you can take a look at any author on the syllabus. And what I'd like you to do in this, essentially, you're going to write an essay about one of this author's greatest works, or it could just be about one of the works that we have read this semester. It needs to be something you've read, okay? It cannot be, if you've never read The Great Gatsby, I don't want you to write about this. I want you to write about something you've actually read. But essentially what you're going to do in this essay, you're going to give a brief bio on the author, and then you're going to describe this greatest work. And then you're going to make an argument that this work that you are describing is something that has meaning and should be read today. It's something that applies to the world that we live in today. And I want you to be able to prove that with your own thoughts and with referring to the primary source material. But in addition to that, I'm going to ask that you find secondary source material. So secondary source material is whenever you find some article that someone else has written about this particular piece of literature. So that does add a little bit of complication to it. That makes it a little harder, because that means someone has to have written something about the piece of literature that you're interested in writing about. But let me give you a secret. Everyone that we've read this semester and everyone we will read, they're such a legend. All of these people are such legends in literature that, yeah, you can pretty much rest assured that it's been written about. So that is something to be thinking about as you go forward. You don't have to, I'm not assigning it today. I will assign it next week. But you might start thinking, okay, which author do I want to be an expert in? Which author do I want to really devote a lot of time and effort researching and doing deep analysis over a specific reading? And this can be something we've done so far or something that we're about to do. So you can look forward in our syllabus at the authors that we're going to be covering. So have that in mind, have that in the back of your mind. I'll talk to you more about it next week on Monday, but that is something that's coming down the pike, and it will be due on the last day of the semester. So it is something that it will be due approximately the same time that you're going to take the final for this class. So I don't want you to wait until the last minute, because that would put you at a real disadvantage, because you'd be working on this big essay. You've got other classes that might have projects, and then of course there's finals. So I don't want to put you at that. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time, this is approximately what we're going to be doing. I'll give you all the finer details next week as far as, hey, length requirement and all of the other stuff, but this is what's coming down the pike. Guys, I hope you have a great week. I hope you enjoy F. Scott Fitzgerald, and I look forward to what you have to say about him. Guys, see you next week.